So, my name is Jillian Wagner, and I'm going to talk a little today about what I did for my internship this semester, spring semester, London 2017, under the lovely Paola Garbini for NOI Club. So, to begin with, NOI Club is kind of like Paola's side project. So, what exactly goes on is that she works full time during the day from home, and she works in Italy, in Milan. So, my internship was remote, which I liked because it gave me some wiggle room. Um, so basically, this is Paola's baby. She began it from a startup tribe through Escape the City, where she was inspired to do something to help out women. So what NOI does is we're basically a big network of women who come together via a Facebook group, and then we meet in person. And this is the key part of NOI. And NOI means we in Italian. So basically, it's just a bunch of women, not necessarily all entrepreneurs, not necessarily in one specific field. Any woman who comes in is immediately a member and is welcome. There's no price for being a member or anything of the sort. So I think what Paola is doing is absolutely amazing through NOI. And I feel like I honestly got an incredible internship experience because I was able to connect with so many women based in London, based in just different places of Europe, just simply through meeting them in the Facebook group or meeting them in person during the events. So Paola hosts one event it's about one event per month, and each one has a different theme, and they're mainly suited for women. But my first one, there were actually a couple men present. So the first one that I did in January was called One Step Closer, and it was just simply about like goal setting, how to get closer to your dreams, things like that. And at each one, we usually have a variety of speakers. The second one was WorkNet, and that was all about so basically, like, women came and they gave a little show of the different products and ideas that they were working on, which I thought was super cool. And then we pretty much provided feedback. So we were like a focus group there, and there were samples of some ladies who had like ice cream and brownies and things like that. So that was a lot of fun. And you just leave each event feeling so ridiculously inspired and uplifted, and it's just such an incredible feeling. And so during the events, I typically help Paola with checking in people, doing things of that nature, just kind of helping everything go smooth sailing. So I guess my department wouldn't necessarily, I guess I was just basically a marketing intern. So it was kind of like her and I in it together. She's my partner in crime, so that was really cool. And she's so incredible. I was so blessed to have met her and have her, and I'm going to go stay with her the week after my time here finishes in Milan, and I'm going to meet her family and everything, so it's going to be super great. I pulled a bunch of my friends into NOI too, and they absolutely love it as much as I do because it's a fantastic networking group. So to carry on, in March we had a pretty busy month. So we had an event that had to do, it was called The Trail, and it was all focused on adventure and self-discovery and kind of finding out who you are and reconnecting back to nature, things of that sort. And that was probably the most inspiring one. I went to, a lot of personal anecdotes were shared. It was just a really like close feeling. It was almost therapeutic, listening to the incredible things that these women had done. And then just 2 days later, Paola was in town that whole week. And that Monday, actually, before the event took place, me and Paola spent the whole day in London, and we did a bunch of work and figured stuff out and strategized. And then we also like went out for tea and lunch, and oh my God, we just had such a ball. So then in May, 2 days later in May, there was a there was an event on Thursday, and that was at Escape the City, which was really awesome. So that was like by Escape the City, and I videoed some of it, that's why I said video. It was by Escape the City, and they kind of did it in correlation with Paola because she's done so much with their company, and that's where she got her roots in entrepreneurship. So that was a panel, it was called the She Series, and it was a bunch of women who gave like their openings and then actually discussed like issues that they all face in the workplace and how women are working to overcome these. And that was an incredible experience too. It was a little different because wasn't quite the typical NOI event, but I was also helping people check in there and doing things of the sort. So during every event, I also was live tweeting. I would sometimes live stream it. So it was just, the events were absolutely my favorite part. of everything. And every time we did it, I got to see Paula in person, which was also just such a treat. So that was definitely probably my favorite part of the internship. Um, so the internship fits in with so many other organizations in the UK because every organization is gonna, like, until we can end sexism, which probably isn't gonna happen anytime in the future, it seems. Gotta say positive though. I think that there's always gonna be a need for women to have this outlet of coming together with other like-minded women to pursue their ideas and get advice from each other and lift each other up and, get the things that they're worried about out and, get support from other people. So I think that there's always going to be a need for this. Other organizations in the UK that do this are like, I think We Are the City. There's like, there's Flock, which, I mean, that focuses around both genders, but they also have, I think they do a lot of stuff with female-based things. In addition, there's Siobhan Kangataran's group, To Get Her Further. These are all kind of things with the same idea. So it's really great to see this kind of thing growing. So the organizational structure is that I pretty much meet with Paula every morning at 10 a.m. or 9 a.m. Well, we meet via Zoom, and so that we have a lot of labs. We have a really good time on that. So I work remotely, which I think works effectively for me. It's hard for me to like actually arrange my tasks in order of priority. So, but like, when we make a list in the morning of like everything that I need to do, that definitely helps me like make sure I have everything cranked out by the end of the day. So it's fun because I've been able to go to Google Campus. I've been able to go to different cafes and coffee shops and work out of different places. So that's all been a lot of fun. And the dialogue between me and Paula is really great because she's like so not critical, but also like she's just, her feedback is always positive, and she always is like just a couple comments, and it's really great to not have a boss who's like I'm afraid of or anything like that. So that's fantastic. So the technology in my company, so I just use like I do everything on my laptop. So I use Typeform. I picked up Hootsuite Sales for a CRM management tool. I do a lot of research for Paula. But yeah, the main things I use are just, honestly, it's a lot of social media, and I've gotten more into Canva since I've started this. I make a lot of social cards for the organization and to post on our social media on Canva. So it's been really fun getting to be better at that, have some more things to put in my portfolio. And then it's been cool to like learn some of the basics of Hootsuite and things like that. But I've definitely learned new skills I've written up monetization strategies. That's what we and Paula are really working on right now, is monetization strategies. I've also become more familiar with Dropbox. I know that sounds kind of lame, but it's true. And yeah, like I said before, I was basically, my role in the organization was that I was a marketing intern, and I thought it related really well to my studies at college because I am an integrated marketing communications major, but also gender equality is something really that I'm very, very passionate about. And this has just really helped guide me down the road of figuring out exactly what I want to do in my really broad major in industry. And I think throughout my life, I'm going to keep doing things to fight gender inequality. And I really wouldn't have been able to do that if it weren't for this internship. Oh, I'm going to get teary-eyed. So cultural differences between the UK and America, here it's a lot more laid back, and I love it so much more. They have more vacation days. I think there's just a higher sense of happiness, honestly, over here, and I so wish that was more common in the United States. But there's just more trust between employees, and there's longer lunch breaks, and just in general, I prefer the work culture here a lot. What skills will I take away from this internship? I made a proper press kit. I made proper pitch decks, so I'm going to have those to put in my portfolio, which is really great. I emailed a lot of people all the time for different things with the event, so I worked on my email formatting and just networking with people. I think I definitely picked up ways to network, and my organizational skills. I think having to prioritize so many of the tasks that Paula and I talked about in the mornings really assisted with my organizational skills and prioritizing my responsibilities, because I definitely have a habit of procrastinating if I'm not given that little extra push. But yeah, in general, we'll wrap up by saying that I think My participation with the NOI Club meant more to me than really any of my classes did this semester, which not to hate on my classes because they were fantastic too, but I think that it just says a lot. And I don't think that I would be as into coming back to England. Like, I want to come back to England now, if it hadn't been for NOI Club and for being able to discover the women who I did and all of the fantastic, uplifting people. And oh, I forgot to talk about the photo shoot that we recently just had. We had a photo shoot event. It was called the Look event, and it was like basically for women to come in and get their makeup done and professional headshots taken. And oh my gosh, we had such a blast doing it. And Paula and I were modeling some clothes by this Romanian fashion designer who was trying to break into the London market, and so we were helping her out. And oh my god, we used some of her clothes, and it was like an absolute blast. There's some great photos of Paula and I. So yeah, that's it in general. So thank you so much for giving me this internship, and I'll definitely never forget it.